In sports betting, there are winners and there are losers. This channel is here to help you become a winner. Today's topic is going to cover unders and over betting. It accounts for about 20% of our own bets. I'm Tony from betting-analyst. Let's crack on. No messing around, we're going to be talking about how to profit from overs and unders. If you do like this type of video, then please do subscribe to the channel. First things first, the knowledge base, right? We're going to be doing the situational factors, that's the metrics of the game. I'm going to give you some benchmarking techniques. We're going to calculate all the options, all the different options available. I'm going to show you some sportsbooks bias. We're going to talk strategy, and I'm going to back it all up with a few reference websites. Situational factors, obviously, first. So if you are looking to bet under, right, try to predict the weather, because if the cold weather comes, goals go down. It's as simple as that. It's absolute fact that over a number of games that the goals will sink if it's cold weather. It's also the same if there's heavy rain or snow, and hot weather. The other extreme, players get tired. I'm afraid they run out of steam. They start pacing themselves, and it's all about effort, how much energy you've got to sort of put out over the old net. Gusty winds, you can't shoot from a distance, the ball's going to be swirling, it's going to be hard to control. And also under floodlights, if you look at night games over the season, you'll find that they do have less goals than games played under natural light, maybe chasing shadows. Missing key strikers, that's another factor. Some of you probably should know, Haaland has been averaging 1 goal a game since he joined Manchester City. So he would be a big miss, but you've got to also, if you don't just take the -1 goal away, you've got to think about which player's coming on. Maybe he's even a better for defence. There's going to be less goals against, right? So there's a few factors to sort of consider there. Now, as far as advantage overs, it's really the reverse. If it's fair weather, if it's nice warm conditions, then it's fair to everybody, and the ball's going to move, and the players are going to be happy. There's going to be big crowds there, and more goals going to be going in the back of the net. Now, I did just say light rain, but a water surface, the better teams who water the surfaces quite heavily, and the reason for that is that the ball skids off and it gives their attackers more chance of scoring. But again, it's the same with the rain, and also you've got to wait, you've got to watch out for the conditions changing during a game. Referees can kill games. You've got some just blowing the whistle for every little infringement, and they're stopping the game. There's no fluidity. Referee decisions, to allow play to continue despite a foul can change the course of a match. It's simple, and that's why savvy bettors know how to factor this into their strategy. Missing key defenders is obviously going to make it easier for the attackers. You're going to have to look at player stats. This is understat. I'm going to give you some websites, so that's something to consider. But key defenders missing, especially centre back. And we have the coaches that like to play attacking football. Now, this doesn't just apply to the big teams. Now, you can see, this was the typical sort of formations of our AC Milan, Manchester City, Bayern play, the 4-2-3-1. But even some mid-table teams play exactly the same. It's like an all or nothing. They just go for the points. Probably you've seen them through less draws. Just bear in mind, if they have a strong attack, if they're going in with an attacking principle, it's going to force the other team into submission and play the same game. Some tournaments have more goals than the league. Take the EFL Cup from last season, average 3.46 goals per game. So, you can see that goes up. Now, there's only certain tournaments, these player changes, that's to take into consideration. But look for tournaments that have benefits, because they do tend to price them up according to the leagues, and so you might get a little bit of leverage there. Websites for XG data are what I'm about to show you. Football XG, there's footy stats, there's understats. You saw the one with the players, also with the teams, right? And they also do the matchups, right? So you will be able to get like an XG later on in the week for like the Premier League games, and you'll be able to feed them into the system. They're beneficial to go and learn them. That's what I suggest. I don't have time to talk through everything here, but that's something to, for your own research, use these websites. Now, I did do a video last week on easily predict football matches, using XG, and I would definitely suggest you go and listen to that if you want to learn how to come to your own XG, expected goals, that is. Right, so when to bet, this is more liquidity equals a lower juice. That's the basis of it, right? So as the week progresses, for example, in Asia, the exchanges, the sportsbook takeout gets lower. Now I'm going to show you that in a second. The stake limits are also increased. The reason for that is that the pool is swelling. There is more money in the pool. It's easier for the bookmakers, the sports books, to move the line, and then of course they can afford to take more. They can afford to squeeze the juice. So here is the example. If we look at this is the Pinnacle opening line on a league match. It was in Scotland, Aberdeen against Kilmarnock, and they were betting 52.16% on both. You know, that's 1.917 if you convert it into percentage terms. So you can see that is 104.32. Now, on the day before the match, that had decreased to 103.85%. And then on the match day itself, the over-under at 53.5% converted and 49.26%. So that is 102.76%. So here it is, right? Early 104.33, day before 103.85. The match day 102.76. Now that doesn't mean you've got to wait for the match day for the best odds. If you've got some kind of knowledge, if you're expecting something to happen, if you've got prior information to what the weather's going to be like, or team news, you might want to jump on early. But yes, these are things to take into consideration. The liquidity, as the liquidity comes into the market, the actual margin gets better, or in your favor, should I say. So let's do some benchmarking. This makes life easier, doesn't it? If we take this these weekend matches and we look across to the right hand side there, you can see the over under for 2.5 goals. Taking the Brest Saint-Etienne match and the Montpellier Nantes. Now you can see if you look further down, they're using 3 goals, right? So you can use them with Asian handicaps as well, this benchmarking system. But for now, I'm just going to concentrate, for the mass of people who tend to do the 2.5 goals, right? So you've got the 203, 1869, 201, 1884, and we're going to have to take the juice out of them. So this is what we do. You can see there the margin of that 203, 1869 is 0277, right? So we're going to remove that margin. You tap it in, right? And these are there without the juice odds. We're going to take the MPTO line. I'll explain that in a second, right? And if you just round those numbers up, right, you can see at the bottom there, 100% book is 209 and 192. If we go across, right, and we look, we want to make the 2.5 goals 209 and 1.92, we just tap into one of these systems, which I'll share with you in a second. This is Sin to Win. And we're going to put in 1 goal for the own team, 1.59, because it really doesn't matter. We could put 2.59 in for one team. We could just divide it however we wish to, as long as it comes to the 2.59 goals, right? Because that's what we need for those odds. If you look down now, the 2.5 goals, you'll see we've got exactly the same, that 209 and 1.92, right? And then we can calculate the other options, the 1.5 and 3.5 goals from exactly the same. You can see that over 2.5 is 209, but then it's 137, just over 1.5. That's with no juice whatsoever. That is using the Poisson system. Now, since we're using 2.67, we actually use 2.68 ourselves. Some of them are using like even 2.64, but and some I noticed one at 2.72. But yeah, 2.67 goals they're using for the perfect 2 and 2, right? So, you've just got to simply adjust that line. It doesn't really matter because we're talking unders overs to get those numbers. You can see the next one, the next game, we come to 207 and 1.94. Again, using the MPTO, we've converted odds of 201. We've removed the juice of 283, and those are the odds that we've come to. You can see over is 207 and 1.94 because we adjusted the goal expectancy, you can see my big star there, to 2.61, which is 1 goal and 1.61, right? Again, like I say, the goal means nothing. It's got to just match those odds, so keep playing with it. You'll learn how to do this yourself. And then we calculated, and we got the 1.5 at 136, and we got the 3.5 at 3.76 for the overs, and so on, right? So, for goal markets, only the total XG matches, so don't worry about that. If you want pros and distribution, these websites, I mentioned that we use Cinto in there. I would also put in XG score. It's quite a decent one. Annabet. Now, Annabet looks like a bit of a crap website, but if you are using it to get 1x2s, then Annabet is particularly good because it does allow for the input of the draw. So MPTO, margin proportional to odds. With this method, the higher odds, the more margin is applied. It's calculated as true odds, outcomes, odds, outcomes minus margin odds. If you look here, right, balanced odds 1.91, 1.91, everything below are all 2. They're all coming out exactly perfect. It doesn't matter which lines you use. But if you go more extreme, like with this sort of 1.5 goals, right, and you put in 1.321 and 338, you can see there's a big difference. Focus on the MPTO, especially if you are playing at shorter odds, or you mismatched odds. So let's have a quick talk about sports books, how they have an over bias. I'm going to do this through showing you. I'm sorry about this. I know it's pretty pathetic. I asked somebody to send me the Bet365 lines, and they sent to me in fractions, and then the odds have changed. You can see the unders 1.91, 375, 1.36. This is the opening line on that Aberdeen against the Kilmarnock match, because we're going to use that as a sort of example. Taking the juice out like I've showed you already in previous methods, right? And then you can see the 1.5 goals, and you can see the 3.5 goals, from them. And this is the Cinsowin website. The other one was XG, doing exactly the same trick. Right, and yes, and now we can sort of do the balance of it, what we actually saw. So this is just using the under goals, under 2.5 goals, under 1.5, under 3.5. Now you saw the pinnacle odds, the opening line was 1.917, and the Bet365 line was 1.91. So we've just taken the juice out of that. So as you can see, with the pinnacle odds, if you're taking the juice out of them, they would be 2.403 and 1.369. If you look at these odds, you can see that Pinnacle, they've got higher odds on the under 2.5 goals at the opening odds, because they do give a little bit less juice. But their odds are under the what Bet365 are giving on the actual under odds, right? So especially by the under 3.5 goals. So there's a slight advantage, because you can see that with X goals, it's coming up at sort of 136. But the moral of the story is that even Pinnacle, you can see how you start squeezing that juice down, right? So it's an imbalanced book as far as Bet365 are concerned, because to really sort of balance out, it would have to be nearer the sort of Pinnacle odds, normally even below that, because they're taking more juice out, right? So that's an imbalance comparison. And I'm just using the Bet365 example. You're going to find some wild examples depending on which bookmaker you've got, obviously. Now we just need to talk and cover quickly on what is worth knowing, right? Everyday punters prefer betting overs, and that's why soft books adapt to customer expectancies. So, bear that in mind. If you're betting overs, you're going to get less value on them than if you're betting unders. And alternate lines can have better betting value because, like I mentioned, that they're expecting every punter to sort of bet over, and, there's a big imbalance there. Now, the pros and distribution, as I also talked about previously, it depends on which websites you use. We used 2.68. There was one there 263. There was one there 267. Right. So that's if you're expecting the exact for the 50-50 chance on the overs unders coming out at 2.5. Right. Exchanges and shops, sharp books, they also have a small bias. I must say that it's not,
one size fits all. And the reason again is a lot of their punters but they're not all professional gamblers. A lot of the softer punters there are betting on the overs, and it does create a small advantage even with the exchanges and sharp bookmakers. And if you go to an in-play strategy, I just want to mention that the time decay is absolute fallacy. Obviously, there's less chance of goals coming after a certain period of time, but it's all built into the odds, and I'm afraid you'll find it not so beneficial. Now, my final thing on this really is the advice, the 12-point plan, right? And that is, right, learn to use all under-over types because you will find value. You'll get bigger profits if you sort of concentrate on low leagues and cups because the bookmakers are not really on the scene as far as they go. And even though they've increased the margin, what you'll find is they don't know about the local weather. So if you've got some kind of information there, if you've got, if you know players that are coming in and going out, if you're following these leagues, you'll find a lot of advantages. You'll often find more value on betting unders, like I mentioned, because of that bias. Use the Poisson distribution calculator for over-under bets. Again, it's much more sort of safe than using it for predicting the actual outcome of the match. Create odds competition through more accounts. That's obviously a no-brainer. You get as many accounts as you can, and then you've got something to sort of shop around. The more you can shop around, the better odds that you'll get. The better odds that you get, the more chance you've got to win. It's simple as that, right? Only parlay when the odds are advantageous. I heard some clowns say, yes, just bet everything is over 1.5. You've got more chance of winning. Put them in the treble, you'll get more odds and more chance of winning. It's not true, right? It's absolute bullshit. Just concentrate on the numbers themselves. Watch odds change when teams are revealed. Now, about an hour before a game, the sort of team news comes out, right? And that's when you'll see the odds will really sort of move around. That's when to focus, right? So learn about timing a little bit, yeah? Brainwash yourself with the situational understanding that was at the beginning. It's just once you get it into your head, obviously it's going to be there forever. It's your brain is a sponge. It's going to obviously take that in, and then you're going to be thinking, okay, I'm going to have to look at this, look at that, and so on. It's a numbers game, so target volume. If you sort of think after 50 bets, oh, I'm losing, right, I'm afraid you're doing yourself this service. Look over a long period of time. Look over 1,000 games. Just make your stakes a little bit smaller. Test it out for yourselves. Now, odds change, meaning they can become favourable as well. So again, if you think you needed odds of like 2 on something, but it was only 1.95, just go back later. You might get the 2.
So I hope you learned something from the video. Betting, professional betting at least, is all about mindset. You've just got to get in the zone, just concentrate. Once you've learned to do things right, it all gets easy. So we have other videos for deeper learning, and also you could consider joining our paid mentorship program. That's it for now. You're through to bootcamp again. Catch you in the next one soon. Take care. Bye bye.